gonna draw something like this. Oh, and the animation I did last, this was a bad idea animation. It was done first sketched and then line work, etc. But you couldn't tell. I'm sure that some people could tell that it was definitely seemed a bit different in style wise it did. So let's get this sketch here. Let's give her a shirt. Okay. And I think I'm doing a bit too much. But the one thing you want to do before doing this technique, you want to make sure not to have like construction lines like this, or like actually like just do it, sketch it out free-handedly, which is much more easier. I think it's just like sketching, but instead you're you're sketching and doing your line work in sketch form. Now I've seen a lot of people do this on how should I say it, YouTube. No, not you. Well, I think it is on YouTube also that people do it, but I'm doing it like this. This is a bit not like how my average stuff would do, but this is just to get like how I want the idea of how I want the person to look instead of just doing it all like free-handedly like that. And, well, that's the worst freehand I can ever do in my entire life. So, Halloween is over. It is November 1st, and it is 9 more days until my birthday. So, if you guys are watching this on anywhere near November 10th, like the 8th or the 7th, make sure to give a happy birthday comment. If you can. I'm not forcing anyone here. The only way I would force you is to, if you guys get, like, to give you an award or something, but I really have nothing to give. I don't know, doing more tutorials or drawing one of your favorite cartoon characters or anime characters, I guess, in my style. Okay, so I'm doing the pad thing with the hand tool here in Flash CC. So to anyone who asks me what software I use, it is Flash CC. All right, it is not the newer one, Animate, because Animate can't run so good on this computer here. So I'm using an older version. So we have our sketch, right? Most I think people would do is that they would go into symbol, turn in graphic, press Q, and then go into alpha, do that, and then do the tracing. For example, like I should have done this in a way that was not so important, like just scribbles, and said, yeah, this is how they do it. No, that's misleading. I don't mislead my audience. Yeah. Oh, I forgot Halloween is over. Should have done more of these on Halloween. Could have made a lot of scary stuff puns. Let's put this on a whole nother layer. There we go. Okay, I don't do black anymore, but it's not like dark brown to give a better feel when it comes to coloring and stuff. Okay, so then you would like you would do it, you would like continue and like draw the head and do it that way. But we're not gonna use symbol, because when you do it in animation wise and you go into symbol, you're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff in here that's gonna take up a lot of space, so you don't want to do that unless you like make a folder and then put all of it in there. But still, it's a nuisance because it's gonna be an ongoing process. You have to like, and plus it's a pain in the neck. I have to be honest, it's a real pain in the neck. So let's go back to the beginning. I'm gonna press undo like 1,000 times, 1,000 times, 1,000 times. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna make sure that we're still recording. Okay, 4 minutes in. All right, and we're gonna want to get rid of the symbol. Headphones, my earbuds are falling off my desk, and gentlemen, I'm so sorry if you do not know that, but they did. Okay, so then like, well, if you don't want us to do it that way, then what other way are you trying to say that we should do it? Wireframe. Now, it may look a bit difficult, but if you have been animating and stuff for a while and you have been doing free-handed work, it'd be a bit more easier. But it's at this is the best thing about it. You don't have to go on a symbol and do all that work every single frame. Instead, you can just do it on like here and just do that and just look up very closely at what you're doing. Like just either if you want to move your head forward and have your eyes focus on what the shape was. Sometimes it would be good to look at it back again. Just click on forth until you get used to seeing how the way it looks. And the reason why it looks so obvious and it looks so easy that you can just easily trace over it, like, sorry, do this on a new layer. Make sure to do that on the new layer, not on the same layer, else you're gonna have problems. Okay, so I'm gonna draw the character. It might be easier to me because I've been doing this for a long time. Mostly in the background. Like, you don't see this in my original animations, but you didn't see it until, like, I did This Is a Bad Idea animation. That thing really skyrocketed. I can't believe it actually skyrocketed that fast. I was not really expecting that from an animation that's just, like, normal. Maybe because I said it's to be continued thing. Well, I didn't say it. I said I just called it This Is a Bad Idea and just showed it something like with a square here and just saying this is a bad idea. And I just said that in a sentence because he was about to get hit by the ball and I think that was funny. Also, it was to commemorate onto the vine that was to be continued vine. And I think it worked out pretty well. I got the music and everything, and it really did really well. So thank you, you guys. Okay, so it was that simple. Now, the other thing that you don't want to do is add too much detail to the sketch, or else it's going to be a bit harder to do. So I'm going to do an example of that. Just going to keep that wireframe, lock that, select this, and put that over here. I can't work with me. God damn it. Okay, so I am like so angry right now. Come on, work with me, man. Okay, it's still a symbol, but it's not like turned down alpha. So you saw how easy it was to just do that when just putting into wireframe and then just create your character like that. Sometimes it's also good to create a character from reference. For reference, so whenever you want to start animating it, I think it will be easier that way. I'm not really sure. I did not try it that way. Like, use a reference and then sketch out the reference and then do the wireframe. I didn't do that yet. I think this way is much more easier. I just realized, I just did this, all the sketch, and then went to wireframe and then just traced it out like that. It's the most simplest thing ever. And then when you're done with it, you just delete it. Like that. And even though it's still here, because it's usually they don't be symbols, they usually be what's the word, usually be just average vectors, but this one's not. So I'm gonna pick another, like a light pink, and I'm gonna draw something. I'm her again, but this time with too much detail. And you'll see what I mean. Adding too much detail to the character. I'm not sure what I'm going to be calling this tutorial. I really do not know yet because this is new to me. It was a big success as my last animation. Okay, so I'm going to just okay, this part's not going to be like so difficult. Let's see if I can at least try. I'm a bit too used to that easy point of doing things. Oh my gosh. Okay, how am I gonna, this is a bit, and then you'll understand when I do this, like, this is why animators don't add so much detail to the characters, or make characters so extremely detailed, because it's a lot more work when it comes to like ruffles and stuff. So let's add more ruffles. And I don't know how I'm gonna do this because I think I never did anything like extremely detailed. Well, I did do stuff extremely detailed, it's just it was on paper. She's not really such a good example because I'm gonna end up doing her again, and this time without any type of issue. So if it does have like these things like selecting like that, you can just press control and then click over here somewhere, as long as there's no drawing in the background or anything, so you can select it, because you don't want to do that because then you'll mess things up. And you just trace it. I trace it again. Whoops. New layer. Always remember that it's new layer. I think it's sort of like just as well as like a tracing as well. And I will try to do more streams. Jeez, I just can't make it so difficult right now. I mean, this stuff used to be so difficult until I learned this idea. I guess the way of it being so difficult would be to, I don't really know, because this wireframe thing makes things so much easier, and that's why I wanted to share it with you, that it makes it so much easier. This was, no, I'm not going to say that, oh, I faked it, I planned it, this idea. Actually, this is all non-planned, and this is just like the idea I wanted to share because it was very successful when I did it. Right now, I'm not really seeing it being so hard. That sounds so wrong. Okay, so sadly, I think I can just remember what it is, and that's why it's easier for me, I guess. I'm not really sure. This is really disappointing because one, this was supposed to be a hard one to do, and I'm just going past it because I basically developed it the same way as how it looks right now in the inked, while the sketch stays in the background is on wireframe. It makes it a lot more easier because then you can see all your blacks. Wow, that sounds racist. You can see all like your black. This is like a panda. Oh no, I guess I was bored. Here I am using black again. They definitely don't look so identical. Now they look like two characters. I guess they can be two characters now. And I'm going to delete this because this is not a vector, so you won't see it inside of the library. So I'm going to put this right down here, I guess. going to put that there, and then you just put it like. Also, the background, everything inside of the animation was sketched. Everything was sketched, and then it was line arted. This was supposed to be so hard to do, but it turned out it didn't turn out to be as hard as I wanted it to be. It just became easy. Sadly, this mouth is attracted to all of the body and the eye, so I can't really animate the characters. With the mouth on one layer and the eyes on another layer. I'm sure that's how also the cutout animation works when they cut out with Flash. I'm really bad with that, and I'm trying to get better at it because I really have a series that I want to do with cutout animation. Until then, I can't make that animation until I get better at it. So these are the two characters that were not that are just random. So let's make another layer here. Okay, so the other thing, it was supposed to be like very hard to do, but I guess that the line art, I mean the wireframe effect, and I think you only can do this. Well, you can do this also in Toon Boom, and I think also in what I'm using now, which is Flash. You just don't make your stuff so detailed. So what I mean by, let's see if we can do this again and try to make it complicated, like adding all of this instead of doing the way we did it then with just freehand, I think. Do it like, and you don't want to do it like this because this is adding too much detail with the shapes